We're back, bitches! Woo! Okay, now that was a good opening to a video. Hey guys, what's up, what's happening? I'm the King of Games 98, and that is...
This guy.
Yes.
And this is Alvin.
Yes.
A special guest today.
Yes.
Right? Is you a special guest today?
So we just finished watching Season 1 of Doom Patrol.
It was very Doom Patrol.
I literally just said this to you before we started recording this. This was the craziest superhero show I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah?
Hands down.
Yeah, it started off with them going into a donkey's ass because the town got sucked into a donkey's ass. Yeah?
Yeah. That actually happened. Yeah. So, if you've never seen Doom Patrol, how would you sum it up to someone who has never seen it before?
They're a group of fuck-ups, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That try to save people. They're a bunch of misfit fuck-ups, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, my God, you got
Robot Man.
You got Cliff, Larry, with the spirit inside
the
of
negative
him.
spirit.
Yeah, negative spirit.
You got Jane with her 64 personalities.
Yep.
And each of those 64 personalities has a different meta-human ability. And then Rita. And then Cyborg.
And then Cyborg. Rita, I don't really know how to explain hers. It's like her skin just...
She blobs. I guess she's like the blob.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then Cyborg is...
Obviously Cyborg.
This has just been... This was a hell of a first season.
Also, spoilers for season 1 if you've never seen it.
Yeah. So, like, you know, he said they go in a donkey's ass, they come out a donkey's ass. That literally happened, too. The episode Doom Patrol, which I believe was episode 6 of season 1, that episode... Like, I know, because it was a while ago when we watched that episode. When we did watch that episode, I know I turned to you multiple times because I was confused because of how they went about telling the story from their point of view, then from the past Doom Patrol's point of view, and they kind of, like, mashed them together, if you will, and made it out like they intertwined, which I mean would make sense because it was like current and past Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of trippy in the sense of watching how they did that whole scene and sequence.
Yeah.
In the like, you know, human school.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, that whole thing, I couldn't help, and I don't think
Think of X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think I told that to you, but I couldn't help the whole time but think of X-Men, Charles Xavier's school for...
Mutants.
Yeah. That's just what it made me think of. But, like, the DC version.
Yeah.
And...
Fun fact, the manor, the school... was the same building that they used for Oliver Queen in Arrow the Show. Like, that was his house.
And I remember you telling me that. That's a cool little fun fact. That episode was just so well done between the past and the present and how they intertwined that it's easily my favorite episode of season 1. And like I said, I turned to you multiple times because while trying to follow the storyline for just that single episode in particular, it was rather hard, but at the same time, it made sense.
Yeah.
But was confusing to follow.
Yeah.
But I think that's what made it my favorite episode of the first season. If you had to pick a favorite episode, what would you say? Because
I mean, they're all good.
There was a lot of good ones.
There were. When I think of that, I'm gonna change the question and say, who was your favorite character?
Okay.
Throughout season 1.
Favorite character throughout season 1, man,
because I can tell you right now, mine's is Cliff.
Okay, that's a good choice. Because like, I would say primarily this season focused on telling the stories and backstories.
Yeah. Of each character
in the Doom Patrol, how they came to
Larry
be.
Larry was a test pilot. Cliff was a
race car driver.
Who cheated on his wife with the nanny. Jane was in a mental ward.
Yes.
Because of her 64 personalities.
Yes.
Rita Farr was an actress who was
I think it was supposed to be like the 50s, 60s.
Yeah, 50s, 60s. She was a stuck-up bitch at the time.
Yes.
Cyborg was he was high school?
Yeah.
High school, college
athlete.
Yeah, that accidentally set off an explosion in a lab.
Yeah.
Basically causing him. But then it's just like you find out why they all became the way they did, because Niles Coulter pretty much fucked up their lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cliff is like the worst. Because not only does he have a daughter, but everybody else is still technically human.
Yeah.
Give or take Cyborg, even though he is, but at least he still has part of his body.
Yeah.
Cliff's just a fucking brain inside a robot.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like his whole he's a fucking brain.
Yeah.
And he lost 30 years of raising his daughter.
Yep.
Being a fucking brain, basically.
Yep.
I get. Okay, so Futurama. You know how they have the president's heads in the jars?
Yes.
He's worse than that. He's just a fucking brain.
Yeah.
He's a brain in a jar, basically.
Do you remember? These weren't really like predominant characters, but in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, in the very, very, very beginning scenes of Jabba's palace.
Yes.
After 3PO and R2 get in, there's those weird spider crab looking droids.
And the brains.
That is literally.
That's literally Cliff.
Yeah, they're called B. Omar monks, and the backstory on that, not to like totally get off subject here, was they were the original monastery people who inhabited Jabba's palace before he took it over, and I think he killed them, and then took their brains and plopped them in those mech spider droid bodies, I'll call it.
That's basically what Niles Coulter did to Cliff, but a functional robotic body.
Yeah. I mean, like, I will say this, because you said Cliff is your favorite character, and I'm still thinking I'm going to answer that. You said Cliff's your favorite character. I love the design of him.
Oh, yeah.
And he makes me think of, like, alright, you're probably going to laugh. It makes me think of what if Frankenstein was, like, in a pop-punk era.
No, I see that. With the jacket, the leather jacket.
And then did you always notice he's wearing a different band shirt?
Yeah. And then I love the fact that he's a piece of shit. No, because he's cheating on his wife with the nanny.
Yeah.
And then at the end of episode 14, he realizes it and he goes, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. Like
he openly admitted to
it.
it.
He goes, yeah, I know I'm a piece. So I want to. He goes, I'm a piece of shit. I'm going to try to be better.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It only took basically dying and becoming a brain and a robot to realize you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But you know, better late than never.
Oh man, if I had to choose one character to be my favorite, you know, like seriously, all of them are.
They're all good
in their own aspect.
Yeah.
I
just love the quips that he came up with, like
all of the backstories for all of them.
Oh yeah.
Even Niles Calder.
Oh yeah.
We haven't really gotten that much for Mr. Nobody yet.
Yeah.
I kind of hope, because there's I believe 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I hope in the coming seasons they elaborate more.
Yeah.
Because I would like to know more about him. Oh, by the way, he's played by the actor's name is Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
I freaking love him. He was
Isn't he in Resident Alien?
Yes. Yes.
That's
yes,
why I kept realizing
yes,
that's why I kept thinking he looked so familiar,
yes,
and that came up.
That's him. And he was also in Joss Whedon's Firefly as Wash, the pilot of Serenity.
All right, and you brought this to my attention. Niles Calder, I think you said he's the first James Bond.
Well, not the first.
No, he's one of them.
Niles Calder is played by Timothy Dalton, who is a pretty famous British actor who did play the role of James Bond in 2 movies. I know this because I'm a big James Bond fan. In case any of you don't know this or are wondering. He was James Bond in License to Kill and The Living Daylights. I think they were both in the early or mid 80s.
All right, so he's not the first, but he's one of them.
He is one of them, yes. Favorite character,
And you know,
I'm kind of.
I'll say it wouldn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be a main character. It could be like a side character, like Flex. I'll even go as to say Danny the Street. No, because I loved. Okay, so there's an episode called The Danny Patrol.
Yeah.
And they go to help Danny, and then you realize
Danny isn't an actual person.
Danny is a sentient, genderqueer street. Like
yeah,
and it's basically Danny's just a sentient street.
Yeah.
Basically, a teleport. Basically, to a safe haven for people.
Yeah.
I guess normal people, meta people.
Yeah.
Basically, teleports to like safe areas, so people could be like, live their lives.
I thought that was a pretty cool aspect.
Yeah. So I mean, I would go say Danny is actually. I mean, they're all obviously, like you said, great characters in their own way. But I have to say, Danny the Street's up there.
I think it's. I think it's a tie for me. For who my favorite character is between Rita and Larry. And my explanation as to why those two is because.
All right.
Now, don't get me wrong. All of them had great character development.
Oh yeah.
The building, the backstories.
Yeah.
All of them did. But Rita's and Larry's, at least to me, really stood out the most.
Especially because the way I don't know if he was gay in the comics.
Yeah, I don't know that.
The way, I mean, because he was in one of the wars.